What just happened to Jimmy Kimmel may be one of the most dramatic late-night shakeups in years. A single monologue, one controversial remark, and suddenly his entire show is off the air, replaced of all things by Celebrity Family Feud. But how did it escalate this far, and what's really at stake behind the scenes? It all started with a monologue that instantly went viral. Kimmel took aim at the political right after the shocking death of activist Charlie Kirk. He claimed the so-called MAGA crowd was twisting the tragedy for their own gain, and even mocked Donald Trump's reaction to Kirk's death. To some, it was classic Kimmel, biting, satirical, and unapologetic, but to others, it crossed a line. And that's when the backlash exploded. Affiliate groups that keep ABC's shows on air across huge swaths of America moved almost immediately. Nexstar and Sinclair, two of the most powerful players in local broadcasting, yanked Jimmy Kimmel Live off their schedules. Sinclair went even further, demanding that Kimmel personally apologize to Kirk's family and cut a donation check to both the family and Turning Point USA. In the meantime, they announced they'll fill his time slot with a tribute special to Kirk. That kind of pressure isn't just unusual, it's unprecedented. At the same time, Washington got involved. Brendan Carr, the head of the FCC, slammed Kimmel's comments as sick and misleading, suggesting that ABC could even face regulatory consequences. That's not just criticism, it's a veiled warning. When regulators and affiliates both apply pressure, the network itself can't simply look away. Disney, which owns ABC, suddenly had to make a choice between defending its star comedian or protecting its multi-billion-dollar relationships with stations and regulators. The result? ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel's show indefinitely. No timeline for his return, no word on whether his demands for apology or donations will be met. Just silence, and that silence is fueling speculation. Is this a temporary timeout, or is this the beginning of the end for one of late night's biggest names? Fans are split. Some argue Kimmel was simply doing his job as a comedian, mocking public figures, pushing boundaries, and using satire as a weapon. Others see his remarks as cruel and reckless, aimed at a grieving family during their darkest hour. That divide has spilled onto social media, with hashtags like #CancelKimmel and #FreeKimmel trending side by side. On Reddit, fans are even comparing this to the cancel culture battles of 2020, warning that once comedians can be pulled off air for political jokes, no one is safe. But here's where things get even more interesting. Sinclair's demand for a personal donation, not from ABC, not from Disney, but directly from Kimmel himself, is raising eyebrows. Is this about accountability, or is it about setting a new precedent where networks and stars can be forced into financial settlements over controversial jokes? Industry insiders warn that if Kimmel caves, every late-night host will have a target on their back. Meanwhile, the optics are brutal. In markets across America, viewers tuning in for Kimmel instead got a rerun of Family Feud. Others will soon see a full-on Charlie Kirk tribute. That's more than just a replacement. It's a message. Sinclair isn't just pulling the plug, they're rewriting the script of what viewers see in his place. And hanging over all of this is Disney. CEO Bob Iger is known for being fiercely protective of Disney's brand, but also cautious about political fights. Does he fight to bring Kimmel back, risking a war with affiliates and regulators? Or does he quietly let Kimmel fade away, keeping ABC's late-night slot in limbo until the controversy cools? Insiders say those talks are already underway, and the outcome could decide whether Jimmy Kimmel ever sits behind that desk again. What happens next could reshape late night entirely. Will Kimmel bow to the demands and apologize, or will he hold his ground and risk permanent exile from network TV? One thing is certain, this isn't just about one joke, one host, or even one tragedy. It's about the future of free speech, the power of corporate broadcasters, and how much risk a comedian can take in today's political climate. And for Jimmy Kimmel, the clock is ticking.